Hi, my name is Kaylee Darby. Today's date is February 10th of 2019, and I'm going to be talking about the appendicular skeleton and the axial skeleton. I'm going to start with the anterior skull, which the nasal is right here, the top part of your nose. The sphenoid, I don't know if I pronounced that right, which is the bone by the inner eye. The lacrimal, which is inside your eye socket right here. The ethmoid, which is also in there somewhere. The zygomatic is your cheekbone. The maxilla is the bone right here above the upper teeth. The mandible is your jaw. Your frontal is right here, your forehead. And then the vomer is, can't see it. It's the bone right here on your nose. Next, I'm going to be talking about the posterior skull, just from behind. The mandible is right here, your jaw area. The occipital, which is right here, the lower part of your skull. The parietal, which is up here, and the temporal, which is right here. Next, I'm going to be talking about the lateral skull, which is a side view of it. There's the ethmoid, which is right there somewhere. The frontal, which is the front of your skull still. The cranial is, as I said before, in the eye socket area. The mandible, which is still right there, as well as the maxilla right here. The nasal is the nose. The zygomatic is your cheekbone right here, this whole bone. The occipital is the lower part of your skull back here. The parietal is the big piece of your skull. And then the temporal is again right here behind your eyeballs. Then I'm going to be talking about the anterior skull, which is inside the skull. No, put his head right there. The ethmoid, which is again inside the eye, and I don't know where that is from right here. The frontal is your forehead area, still at the front right here. The occipital is back here, the big part of it. The parietal is the small part of it on the sides. The sphenoid, still I'm not sure how to say that, is also inside the eye, and the temporal is like right here, but straight behind the eye socket. Next, I'm going to talk about the vertebral column, which your altus is right here, your C1, and the axis is C2 right here. The cervical vertebrae is the top part of your spine. The coccyx is the bottom part of it. The lumbar is the middle area. And then the sacrum is the bottom arch right here, if you can see that. And then the thoracic vertebrae is the upper part of your spine. And then we're going to spin it back around, talk about the thoracic cage, which is the body of the spine, or the sternum, sorry, which is right here, your sternum. And then the manubrium of the sternum is this little piece right here, the upper part. Your false ribs are, or we'll do your true ribs first, are 1 through 7. So right there. And then the floating ribs are going to be the 11 and 12 right here. And the false ribs are 8 through 12. Then next I'm going to talk about the pectoral griddle and the upper limbs, which is the clavicle, which is your collarbone, right here. And then the humerus right here. The radius, which is this bone. The ulna, which is the bigger one down here. The scapula is this bone right here. And then I'm going to talk about the hand and wrist, the capitate, which is the bone in the middle of your hand, right here. You can't see it. The hamate, which is next to the capitate over here. The lunate, which is right here in this area. The metacarpal are the bones in your fingers right here. The phalanges are your fingers. The pisiform is the bone in your hand over here, closer to your pinky. The scaphoid is it's next to the lunate bone on the bottom of your hand. The sesamoid is, I believe it's your knuckle bone. The trapezium, which is the bone right here. It's kind of like the starting of your thumb. And then the trapezoid is the first bone under your pointer finger right here. The triquetrum is next to the pisiform over by the pinky. And then we're going to talk about the pelvic griddle and the lower limbs, which the liam, I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, which is the big round part of your hip right here. The forgot how to say it. The ischium bone, this circular bone right here. The pubic bone is this bone right above it. The femur is your thigh bone right here. The patella is the small bone right here in your knee. The tibia is the bigger bone right here in your leg, and then the fibula is the small bone right here. Next I'm going to talk about the ankle and the foot. The calcaneus, I think I said it correctly, is kind of like your ankle. It's the bone that's right here, like above your foot. The cuboid is in your foot right here. The intermediate cuneiform, I think it is, which is this bone that'll be right here. The lateral cuneiform, which is right here in that area. The medial cuneiform, that's this bone right here, the first bone below the big toe. The metatarso, that's the bone between it's like right here, right there. And then the navicular bone is like down in that area as well. The phalanges is like your toes, and then the talus is the big part of your foot right here. And that concludes my video on the skeleton. Thank you for watching.